What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Three View. Today, we are joined by Minnesota Moose head coach Todd Sanden. How's your summer been going?
It's been busy, Brittany, but it's gone great. Certainly winding down and getting ready for the start of the season.
I know we're just a few weeks away, but first, we'll start by going over last season. So, you guys kind of had a rough start. You were in last place in the division, but you guys were able to turn things around and make it all the way to the division finals. What was the turning point for you where it clicked and your team started to move things in the right direction?
I think, unfortunately, we started with part of our group wasn't as committed as they needed to be to compete in the NA3HL and the West Division. So we had a little addition by attrition with moving some guys out that weren't as committed and being fortunate to find some kids that were very committed to come in and really start that change for us.
And what does it say about the resilience of your group that you were able to make that switch? And how important were those key players in the locker room who had been there since day one?
I think when you look at kids like Reed Watson, who was our captain and committed to the program early, um, coming in and just lasting throughout that, and the term resiliency is probably appropriate in the regards that I was getting phone calls early on for trade bites on him, and obviously every time somebody reaches out, we talk to the players and give them that option. And I will say, hands down, every single opportunity that he had, and with some pretty good teams in our league, he wanted to stay and ride this out and lead that team.
Again, let's touch on Reed Watson. He was your captain, and he is one of your 11 college commitments for next season, five of those being to NCAA Division III programs, Reed included. How special is that for you to see that many numbers committed in a year one program?
Well, I think when you look at the landscape of what's going on in junior hockey right now, any commitments at this level is pretty special. I mean, you're looking at uh, USHL North American League kids. Some of those, a lot of them playing D3 hockey now too, with what's going on. So, anytime we can get a kid that commits NCAA programs, I feel like we're stealing from those leagues above us. So, super excited about the commitments that the kids got. I think these kids will all succeed in those programs. I know the coaches very well that they're going to. So, we couldn't be more excited. Obviously, that's a huge number, and that's what this is all about. I mean, it's our job to certainly try to find the right kids first, and then give that opportunity for development and advancement.
And how huge is that in terms of your recruitment process, knowing that you have the numbers to back up, your development?
I think if kids really take a hard look at what we're doing, we should be a top destination in this league. I know like we don't have the facility with all the bells and whistles, but one thing to bring up even about our facility, like the Robertson Cup is hosted there. So when you're looking at the North American League hosting their championship series there, like the facility's good, but I mean, looking at it, those commitments have to carry a heavy weight in kids' minds when they're making that decision. I mean, that's why they're doing this.
And you've had quite the success in the NA3HL with development, and you've also won a Fraser Cup when you were in Mason City. Talk about how you've been able to continue that success year after year.
I think it's the people around you, starting with the kids and their families that get on board with our program and support our program. Your billet structure, your like our staff, John Jonathan helping me out. We have so many positives there, and to be successful, it takes a lot of really good people behind you. Um, Certainly, I have some experience and have been blessed in my career to be able to have teams that have done very well, but you don't do that without great people, and we've been very fortunate.
And going off of that, what keeps you coming back year after year?
I love coaching, and I absolutely love this level. Like when you can see kids at their starting point, and then see where they end up after the end of the season, and crowning it off with college commitments, whether it's NCAA or ACHA. I mean, at this point now, there's some pretty attractive ACHA options out there.
Mhm.
Um, just getting those kids through that process and seeing the success at the end is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And continuing with amazing success, how are you going to continue to build this Moose program in year two and build off of the momentum that you had from last season?
I think that my approach has always been it's a day by day, week by week scenario. So you start out with a group of players, and you have opportunities to mold them, shape them, maybe add to your group or subtract from your group. But I think when you look at it, um, trying to win a Fraser Cup is very hard, and I don't think you can. It has to be your goal, certainly, but I think you have to take it shift by shift, day by day, week by week. And in our division, in a lot of divisions, you have to prepare for every opponent. There are no nights off, so just making sure that you slow it down and put it into the smallest bites so you can chew it all up.
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing that the West Division is so tough night in and night out, what is the key for your players to come out successful and win those tough battles? I mean, we look at your success you had against Granite City last season. When you came to Granite City, people knew it was going to be a tough night. How are you able to do that, so often, especially against that caliber team?
I think it's probably the word you'd use is preparation and making sure your kids are physically prepared, mentally prepared, um, have enough structure to contain. And certainly, Granite City's a high flying team, and as they got us a couple of times, there's some big numbers. But just going into those games and knowing that they're going to be very hard games, mentally and physically, and just the kids understand what the battle is here in the NA3 West.
Mhm. And as we flip forward to next season, we're just a few weeks away. It's creeping up on us. Who are some of the players that you're most looking forward to returning to this program and continuing the legacy that was built in year one?
Well, I think we have a fair amount of returning players coming back. I look at a kid like Charlie Marchand, who was with the USA before and after player last year with us. I mean, he'll have an opportunity, and I think with a lot of our veteran kids that could have came back going to school, there's a lot of room for young kids to come in and kind of drive our program early. But I think you're looking at defensemen like Hayden Albertson and George Daravingas who are committed to come back. I mean, I think you have to build from that back end, and we have some pretty solid goaltending prospects in Jackson Seibel and Easton Lemke and Asher Wool coming in. So I mean, I feel like we're okay on the back end, and just getting some forwards in that can find a groove and find the back of the net. I think that's going to be our biggest task early on.
And when you talk about those players that are returning, what is going to be their message to the new players on how they want to continue the culture that you've built?
Well, I think those kids carry your culture, right? Like they've been there for part or all of the whole season. So looking at that, I mean, you don't win without a great culture, and those kids certainly will be in leadership roles and help us drive our team to success.
And when we look at qualities that you're looking for in players, besides skills on the ice, what are some off ice characteristics that you look for when you're recruiting?
I when you sent me the question preview, this is a favorite one to answer because I think there's two things that have to be paramount in your player pool, and the first is character, and the second is commitment. Um, Trying to get as high character players as you can, knowing that they're going to take care of themselves on and off the ice, and then just that commitment. The NA3 is a grind, and if you're going to get a chance to move up, the North American League's even more of a grind. So making sure that kids are committed to themselves, their teammates, and quite honestly, their families that gets paid to play. So you want kids that come in and really take advantage of the situation that their families are providing.
And as we look forward to this upcoming year, what is your biggest goal that you would like to accomplish in year two?
Win a Fraser Cup. I mean, at the end of the day, um, the fact that it's pay to play and being so fortunate with the commitment, but not every kid gets a commitment out of junior hockey. So if there's one takeaway and you can win a Fraser Cup, then everybody has something super amazing, super special to look back on years later in life.
And if you could kind of pinpoint one moment last year that was kind of stuck out to you as your favorite moment, what would that be?
I think the third game in Alexandria, and the double overtime series clinching goal by Will Bernovic. I mean, it was a simple pass off pad play, and he got down and buried it. And just the opportunity to go to the division finals. I mean, that was obviously something it was a goal of ours. But that series was such an amazing series, and all respect to Alexandria and their team and coaching staff. Like it was 2 1-goal game. I mean, they were all 1-goal games. Like, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun, and we respect those guys and know we're going to have battles against them again this year.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely quite the series to watch. And so to wrap this interview up, we want to say thank you so much for hopping on this call, and we look forward to seeing what you do in year 2 with the Moose.
Of course. Thank you, Brittany.